Hello, guys, and welcome to the first episode of Defiance Central's podcast. We are going to be covering all the things that is Defiance related, from the video game to the TV show, and everything from the community as well. As it's our first podcast, we're going to introduce ourselves. With me today, today and hopefully forever, is going to be myself, who is Jenbuu. Then I have Kalbuir.
Hello everyone, I'm Kalbuir.
And we also have Matrek here as well.
Good to be here.
All right, so we're gonna start off. We'll introduce the new member of the team, shall we say? Matt, just tell us a bit about yourself, what you've been doing, and who you are, basically.
Well, I am no one important. I make YouTube videos and also do another podcast. East Coast, USA. I like video games.
I heard you like video games.
And that's my intro, so.
Right, and we also got Calva here, who you'll be seeing quite a bit of over the next few weeks. Weeks. This week, shall we say? He is going to Gamescom. He is going to be our eyes and ears on the show floor.
Yeah, indeed. I'm leaving on Wednesday morning. I've been preparing for a few weeks now. I'm looking forward to it.
Have you done anything other website related or out like that?
I've worked on fan sites for Star Wars Galaxies, Vanguard, Rift. I covered Rift 2 years ago at Gamescom. I'm planning to do the same this year for Defiance. And I'm a big gamer. I'm a programmer. A little bit of web design, a little bit of everything.
Sweet. And I'm Jenbuu. I've done a few different things over the years. I was on Eve Radio for a bit under Punker Gear, or Punkachu, when I lost my bet. Um, Helped out on a few different other sites in the background, and in the end found Defiance and thought, hell, I'm going to make my own one this time. Seems like a sweet game and seems like a sweet show, so might as well get in there first. Right. So basically, what Defiance Central is, we are aiming to be like a hub of the community, get a load of people together doing different podcasts, sites, advertisements, guild advertisements. It's not all advertisements, but getting them together, telling people who they are, what they do, and all that. Um, and hopefully, with Calber and Matt writing and helping edit the website, we're gonna make the website pretty decent. Um, right. Who here wants to explain what Defiance is?
Not all at once, guys.
Yeah, come on. I've just popped up, so you guys might as well say something.
Well, Defiance is first and foremost a third-person shooter. Most important aspect, in my opinion, is that it's pixel perfect. So you actually shoot where you aim. Where you aim counts, and skill will play a big factor in gameplay. Besides that, the awesome thing about Defiance is that it's not only a video game but also a TV show. And well, the IP is owned by Tryon, so there's a lot of possibility in that. And then, well, the TV show has an awesome cast, so that's great. We will talk a little bit about that later, I think.
Aye.
You probably mentioned that it's not just a video game; it's also an MMO, third-person shooter. So, I don't know. I kind of get a Tabula Rasa vibe from it a little bit, which is
Yeah.
good because I love that game. Then they shut it down. Then I was crying. But
Yeah, there's as long as they get um the what do you say, the PvE aspect as well with it, because didn't Trivia Rising fail a bit on one or two things?
yeah, it had some problems.
I definitely think that a lot of people these days are not only looking for PvP aspects in shooters, but also looking for PvS aspects. And I think Defiance has some pretty interesting things planned in that regard with the arc crawls and public content and stuff like that. So that could definitely be pretty interesting.
Just to say what the Arcfalls are, if nobody's been following Defiance, it's been said that the Arcfalls are going to be, for example, pieces of spaceships falling to Earth, bringing creatures with it, and basically, if anybody's played Rift, it's going to be like a Rift sort of thing, where you've got to defeat the enemies that are in there.
So basically, awesome random events. Hopefully, I enjoy. I'm not the biggest fan of Rift, but it's not necessarily by fault of the game itself. It's just that I've played a lot of games that are kind of similar to Rift, and I didn't really want to try to get into another one. However, the Rift invasions, or whatever you want to call them, were pretty awesome, and I really just like dynamic content like that in video games.
Yeah, they were really. I didn't play Rift a lot. I played it a lot less than what I would have liked. I decided because the guys I usually play games with are American and such like that. I play on the American servers. So like when I'm on my break or something at 2, 3 o'clock my time, um, there's nobody online because it's like 9 a.m. or something like that. But that's what I'm actually gonna like with Defiance, because from what I gather, I may be wrong. It's going to be like a sandbox, isn't it? Or am I completely wrong there?
I would not place any bets on that quite
Yeah,
yet, but
I would
I'm
like it to be a
definitely hoping.
sandbox.
Yes, 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 definitely hoping. But
I might just have been hearing rumors and stuff like that, but sandbox would be awesome. There you go, Trion. That's what you want to do. Right. The great thing, well, it is a great thing and probably a curse. Well, not a curse, should I say? A very time restrictive release date. We are looking at the release for the game and the TV show in April 2013. So, as of this date, there is what? I worked this out the other day and I don't want to start counting. What is it, 9 months?
yeah, there's not a hell of a lot of time left in that
Yeah.
regard.
No, they don't
I
have
mean,
that long.
I
Um,
know they're in full motion filming the TV series, and they've been developing for quite a while now. I remember reading the first announcements like 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
So they've definitely been developing for a while, but yeah, as of yet, we don't have a hell of a lot of information yet.
Nah, it's what they've said about 4 years. It's the game's been in development, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's. I think they were already planning and even started already during Rift's development. Because my understanding is that End of Nations, Rift, and Defiance, all those projects kind of started at the same time, or were at least planned out at the same time. So yeah, that gives you an indication on how long it's been.
Yeah. Going back to the TV show, July 24th, taking into account today is the 12th of August. Um, so they're coming up to what, 3/4 of a month, something like that, recording. Not
Just
three quarters.
about, yeah.
Yeah,
And
just about.
so
And
yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
from what we've seen, if you follow Twitter and stuff like that, if you follow us, we're Defiance Central. Um, we have lists of people from the game, from ourselves, and from the show. Um, if you take a look at that, see the sweet green screen setup they've got for their green screen action, it looks absolutely fantastic.
And don't forget the special chairs. Not sure if you saw those.
Yeah, they were pretty sweet. Um, it's just the from what I've seen from from the guys who are involved in it, they're loving every minute of recording.
Yeah, if you're into Twitter as a Defiance fan, you should definitely follow all the cast and the community managers and stuff like that. They talk about it a lot. Not a hell of a lot of information, but nice bits and pieces. So that's always nice.
Yeah, because there's people, for example, just having a quick look on here. Uh, I can't remember his name. Craig Engler. Um, he is one of the executive writers on there. He's on it. He says a load of stuff. And David Peterson, he did the language for it. How are they pronouncing it? Castian?
Yes. I think they hit like more than 1,000 words last week.
Yeah.
So that gives you an indication of how much depth the show and well the entire universe is going to have. And that's just one language, guys. Something to keep in mind.
Yeah, there's like 8 races, aren't there?
Yep.
Um, if you want to hear a bit of the actual Castian language, take a look at the website with the interview with Jamie Murray. Is it? It is Jamie Murray, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Jamie Murray and Tony Curran. That's it. I used to keep getting their names mixed up. Jamie Curran sort of thing, but I don't think that'll go. Um, we might as well just cover the actual TV show. Seems we're on one about this, hadn't we?
Sure.
Sure.
It's kind of, well, they go in hand, so I don't really see the point in covering one without covering the other. So yeah, we might as well.
Yeah, we might as well. Seems we're talking about people that are in it. Jamie Murray. If you don't know who Jamie Murray is, she's well known in Britain for a few TV shows. For example, The Hustle. She plays a con artist in there. Um,
Awesome series.
yeah, it is
If
pretty
you
sweet.
haven't seen it, see it before Defiance, guys.
Yeah, because from what I see, she looks completely different. But the other one she's really well known for, and is one of my personal favorites, is Warehouse 13. She plays H.G. Wells, who is just an awesome character, to be fair. And she actually plays in Defiance Statma Tar, who's the wife of Tony Curran's character, um, Datak, isn't it? Datak Tar?
Yes. Yes.
God, looking at these names before the show, I was just like, how am I going to pronounce all these? Anybody else want to say who's in it?
Well, my personal favorite would be Grand Bowler.
Mm.
Who, yeah, it's just I just love his accent, and he's just a really focal character in all the interviews, and he seems really passionate about both Defiance and the video game.
He seems to spearhead it, doesn't he, quite a lot?
Yes, yes, yes.
I want his t-shirt.
Definitely. I think he's mostly known from his roles in Ugly Betty, True Blood, and he plays Nolan in Defiance, which is I think a former soldier. And then we got uh, Stephanie Leo. Oh damn.
We're just butchering stuff, aren't we?
Nah,
Esther's.
we'll keep that one in. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
Stephanie, what is it? Leonidas. Yeah,
Leonidas, I believe.
Leonidas. Yeah. Uh, um, I didn't particularly know much about her.
um, Seeing the names of the series she played in, I know those series. I've watched those series, but I didn't necessarily recognize her on the Comic Con panel.
Yeah. Uh,
So would be pretty interesting.
and she plays oh, what's her name? Can't remember her name.
Irissa?
Erisa, that's it. Nolan's daughter slash ward.
Yeah, she's not his real daughter, biological daughter, but they definitely have a father-daughter bond going. So yeah, I think she's alien as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And she looks pretty alien to me.
yeah, she
Yeah,
looks
she's
pretty
alien. Yeah.
with like the cat eyes or the glowing eyes. The last one from the main set, I would say, Well, there are a few others, but of course, with it being a short podcast, um, we're not going to go into everybody. But it's Julie Benz. Now, I think she's great. She's
Yeah, let's hope she doesn't die again.
Yeah, come on, Jamie Murray's
Come on,
Julie
guys.
Benz's death count is got to be OTT, hasn't it?
Yep.
Well,
Um,
almost as much as Sean Bean, but we won't go into
yeah. Just imagine if Sean Bean came into it as well.
that. Yeah, he'd be killed off in the first 5 episodes. I'm not even gonna get my hopes up.
It'll be a case like you look like a good fighter. Yes, I am. Oh crap. Um, no, but she played Dexter's girlfriend in Dexter, which is a very weird and wonderful series, as well as the mum in No Ordinary Family, and one from when I was growing up, from Buffy. What was it? Didn't she play Darla or something like that?
Oh, I didn't even know that was her. Oh,
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah, I was like that. I'm pretty sure it was Darla. And yeah, when I first heard it was her, I was like, go back, Google, like Julie Benz, Buffy. It's like, holy shit. But she plays the mayor of Defiance, Amanda Rosewater. Um, Going over the quick production team, we've got some really good production team members. Kevin Murphy, who is the writer producer, he worked on Desperate Housewife and Caprica. Is that said right? Caprica?
Yes,
Never
yes,
watched
yes,
it.
yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
Although I have to say I've watched a fair bit of Desperate Housewives with the wives. I know it makes me shudder as well.
and if I'm correct, that's the person you see on in the interviews quite a lot as well, right? That's another major person who's spearheading the PR campaign at the moment.
Yeah, he does a lot of interviews and such like that. Who else is on there? Um, is it Rocky Obana? He did quite a few decent sci-fi series. He was involved in Farscape, Alien Nation, and the new V, um, which I'm quite disheartened. Well, I was quite upset when it got cancelled, but yeah,
Yeah.
we'll leave it
One of my fears for Defiance as well that it won't get a proper shot in today's USA TV show atmosphere.
there.
But yeah, I was definitely disappointed when shows like Caprica and V got cancelled pretty fast.
There's been a few series that um, have been cancelled, and it's like they've been aired in America and been cancelled, and then the UK get it, and it's like, why did this get cancelled? This is pretty sweet,
Yeah, definitely.
and it's just like,
Do I even need to bring up Firefly, please?
yes,
Oh no,
Firefly,
don't bring up Firefly.
Firefly. Oh my God, I would love. But then again, you've got your trade-off. Do you have the one? Do you have like 6 series and that's it, or do you have the one series and then a feature film?
Yeah, I guess the film made up a lot of for Firefly, but
It did, but
It
it's still
did.
it
I,
been
I would
so
have still
successful.
enjoyed to have more seasons, but yeah, it did
Yeah.
make
well,
up.
if
But
if anyone from Sci-Fi is listening, let's hope they give it another shot.
well,
I mean,
they well,
it's Fox who
Firefly was
captured it.
Fox. Yeah, I hate. Oh God, Fox. I love
Yeah,
Fox, but they make some interesting decisions.
Aren't they doing
same.
something at oh crap, where is it? Is it November time? There's a celebration, is it 10, 15 years or something like that after Firefly? It's a reunion.
Is it been that long already?
I don't know. That
No, it
I'm
hasn't
gonna
been
have to
that long.
look that up now. Moving my chair.
Firefly was in 2000. It was 2002, 2003. So
Let's have a look. They are doing a reunion panel. Um, or they did a reunion panel at SDCC, maybe? Firefly at Comic Con 2012, 10th anniversary. That was it. It was a 10th anniversary
oh,
reunion.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Right, but anyway, this is not a Firefly, even though this is not a Firefly podcast. It is a Defiance one. We shall stay on topic.
Yes, and just to close that, from what I've seen, Sci-Fi seems very dedicated. Like the Sci-Fi company seems very dedicated to Defiance, so I wouldn't worry about anything like that happening.
Yeah, I've in the Comic Con panel, it was stated that this was pretty much the most ambitious and most undertaking project since Battlestar Galactica, if not the most. So that is very hopeful, in my opinion. Considering, well, Battlestar Galactica did great, in my opinion.
I still need to finish watching that.
I need to finish watching it as well. I'm on season 2, and I stopped watching it a while ago, and I haven't had the chance to finish it yet.
You see, I've only just got access back to Sci-Fi, so it's like I got so much to catch up on, but now because it's not being aired.
Netflix.
Netflix, yeah. The legal download.
hmm but yeah, yeah, definitely. It's funny because when I bring up the show, people are like, oh, awesome, that sounds awesome," and then it's like, yeah, it's gonna be airing on Sci-Fi. And they're like, "Oh, you mean the channel with the movies?" Like, yeah, the channel with the movies, but they've got good shows.
It could be worse. They could be saying that the channel with the professional wrestling.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Right.
fair enough.
We will close that thing on
Let's try
close.
not to anger everyone.
Yes. Yes,
Okay, I'm
want
setting up.
a nice environment for Defiance. Right, the trailer from SDCC. Was it? Yeah, it was aired at SDCC, wasn't it?
Yeah, the one that popped up and then disappeared and then popped up
Yeah,
again.
it popped up on Vimo, and then
Ah,
subsequently, if you want to correct
subsequently,
grammar
yes,
there, thank you.
you did pretty well.
Um, I can't speak. I once got described as Chewbacca on TeamSpeak and Skype uh, because I play till insanely early in the morning, and I tend to stream with people, especially with Smite and stuff like that. And he says when I come on, and either if I'm high on Monster or drunk on beer, I sound like Chewbacca. So it's like, cheers, geek. That's all I have to say.
I think we need to hear a roar now, so.
No, that is
No,
not
no,
because
no.
I can actually do it, but no, it will send all the EQ out. So no.
Okay.
Let's not do that. But you were saying about the TV spot.
Yeah, the trailer, the TV trailer, the sneak peek, popped up on Vimeo, then disappeared. I think it was something like 6 hours later. I don't know. Went really
Something
quick.
like that, yes.
But it now seems to be up on YouTube of all places, um, for until further notice or up for good. You can see it on the website. It looks absolutely amazing, if not just for the cheesy one-liners.
Yeah. And to clarify, it's pretty much the trailer that was shown during Comic Con to the in I think just before the panel started,
Yeah,
Mm.
and it
always tend to do a sneak peek there, don't need to keep the fans
yeah,
interested.
and it's like the first footage of the show, and I think it's taken from the pilot, because from my understanding, even the actors didn't see the final result yet at that time.
Yeah, they said on the panel that that was the first time that they had seen anything from what they had been shooting.
Oh, so that's what they were talking about.
Yeah,
That's just twigged.
yeah, they were. Well, I'm assuming that that's what they aired right before the panel started. That would be what they're talking about. But no, it looks really good. I'm wondering why Sci-Fi hadn't uploaded it yet.
Yeah, that was the only bit that got us wondering. We were talking with Tenebra on Twitter, and she was like saying, "Well, if it was a leak, then it would have been brought down as fast as possible." But then it seems to have just stayed. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
and it's
Yeah,
not very good. It's at like
Well,
360p or 240p. It's
it's
yeah,
not
it's
very good quality.
360. It's record of a record. I am
Oh,
pretty sure.
yeah.
yeah, it looks pretty poor, and that's probably one of the reasons.
Yeah,
But either way, it still is great
It's still
advertising.
awesome. Yeah.
I
yeah,
mean, it gave me goosebumps when I saw it, so I'd say it's a success.
yeah. I have to say, I did laugh. A punch to the cojones, and he got nothing personal. You just know he's going to get gripped by the face and chucked after that.
Yeah. I'm ready for that show. I'm. It seems like a lot of people I've talked to are like, "Oh, yeah, there's a show," but I'm ready for the game. But no, I'm ready for the show as well. The show looks awesome.
Aye. And there's just a few things. It's like even though we've put it up, there's only 63 views on the YouTube channel. So even though I would assume people that have seen it, well, the people that have taken knowledge of it when it first came around have noticed it again. Seems we ourselves we've tweeted about it and stuff like that. So they have replied to us on comments and such like that. So I'm sure they would have seen it.
Yeah, it seems like the main place that a lot of people saw it at was, I think there was a post on the forums one there,
Yeah,
and it
but that's
wasn't
the
really
thing.
mentioned anywhere else until we started tweeting about it.
Yeah, we'd well, I've put it back in that forum post, and there's been nothing else. So the same routine's gone round with it. So it got posted, it's been retweeted, tweeted, and such like that. So they must be just deciding to leave it now. That's if it is a leak.
And it seems like it would have to be if they haven't, because yeah, it's obviously it's been ready, because if they showed it at Comic Con, then they were ready to show it to the public. I can't figure out why they wouldn't have uploaded it themselves. But they might be preparing for a interesting marketing campaign or something like that. So it just depends on how what angle they're coming in from as far as
Well,
marketing goes.
I think one thing there that we will continue to see is that, I mean, marketing video games and TV shows is entirely different. I
Oh yeah,
mean, and I think I'm really interested how Defiance is going to handle that, because the game kind of needs to get the word out now. I mean, it's 9 months for launch. Uh, we can at least expect a few months of beta, in my opinion. So the hype needs to get rolling pretty soon for the game. But where the TV show is concerned, like I would say only a month before release. That is normally when
yeah.
you start seeing trailers of TV shows. So that's like a huge difference. And I'm really interested to see if there's going to be. I mean, if there's going to be a big push like that, because if
Yeah.
for example, if you saw the coverage of Comic Con, they had like this huge billboard and an entire cafe stand.
It wasn't
uh
really a billboard though, was it? It was a side of a building.
Yeah,
yeah,
they
it was
had
the
that,
side of a
and they
building.
had that
Yeah.
awesome bridge that they sculpted.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that
yes,
looked
yes.
fantastic. I'm sorry, I've just watched it again with the volume off, and I'm sorry when you're saying they have to think of something as an advertising campaign. You said that just as I see Jamie Murray pretty much nude,
I
but
don't
with that
remember
out.
that part of the trailer.
At the very end, it says "Watch the show," and she's there with this string outfit on. What I can only assume is their bath, because in the
Oh,
interview,
that okay. See
um,
that.
the interview, they said they seem to hang out a lot in the bath. It just looks like either a bathing outfit, but she just looks pretty naked in
Right.
it. Sorry.
No, I just saw. I think. Well, they have the clip at the end of the game, and it seems like the way that I would imagine they'll market is they'll have videos for the game, trailers for the game, they'll have trailers for the TV show, and at the end of each one there'll be like kind of like a template that they'll have to advertise the other one. That seems like a good way to go about it,
Yeah,
because you're gonna have
just
people that are just gonna watch the TV show, and you're gonna have people that just want to play the game, and then you're gonna have people that want to that are interested in both of them. So
right. Moving on then. Um, we we were talking about the actual video game, and kind of got sidetracked a bit earlier than anticipated onto the TV show.
a little bit.
Um, just a little bit. Right. What were we on about? We were on about how that it was an MMO FPS, and the release date is.
TPS technically, not FPS.
What did I say?
First person shooter. You said first person shooter.
Yeah, it is third. That
It's a
I'm
third person shooter,
It
sir.
is a third
No, but
person.
no, no.
Yes, it is.
Details. Major
Hey,
complete
they
difference. Whatever.
refer it as an MMO FPS. I'll keep that until they tell me elsewise.
Okay.
Actually, they keep referring it to a third-person shooter.
Yes, they do.
And
um,
I think a lot on that regard. I think a lot of people are actually expecting first-person view to be in the game,
I,
and I actually don't think that will be the case. But
you don't think?
I don't think so.
I don't
No.
think so either.
No.
For
Well, the only first person thing is going to be a sniper rifle, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, that is
hmm
that is pretty much confirmed because we saw that in the Gamescom footage.
Yeah, there might be that, and there might be like iron sights
Yeah,
weapons, but other than that, I don't see like a first person view aside from being zoomed in with a weapon.
yeah.
And even then, we don't even that. I mean, that might not be there. Huh?
Speaking of weapons, um, with the developer diary being released last week, we got a few bits and bobs of new information. Well, would you say new information or confirmed
Yeah,
information?
some nice tidbits, and I would say this is like the first push for people who have not heard anything about the game.
Yeah,
But even for us who've been following it for months, or in some cases years already, there were some things that really got me excited.
I the I'm all for vehicles. Um, I really do like vehicles, and I am liking the ATVs that they've put in, the quad bikes and such like that. The way they use the physical graphics,
Yeah,
the physics. Sorry, not physical, physics. Um, uh, um, support on there just looks amazing.
yeah, from the footage from that Dev Diary, I got pretty excited with the little handbrake turn there and the mid-air action on the bike. It really feels like a lot of fun to drive around, which is good because I think in the game we'll be doing that a lot.
They did say that you will get your vehicle from like day one, or they have said, if it
Yeah,
hasn't they? So it's going to be something that you are going to be able to call, summon, make appear, whatever they decide to call it, um, from the very beginning or near the beginning. That is yet to be seen. Uh,
yeah,
but, but I do like the way that they've said that there's going to be different vehicles for different things.
yeah. I think they're really gonna have, and I'm gonna have to. I'm currently looking for. I'm watching the video looking for the bit where you see someone driving a vehicle, but they really need to get the feel of it right because I've seen, and I was shocked actually when I because okay, there's one thing that I was worried about since I heard the very conception of this being a third person shooter, and that was the actual how the feeling of actually shooting. It needs to feel good. It doesn't need to feel like there's no force behind what you're doing. That, but from what I saw in that video, shooting seems to feel really nice. It's not just just not. I'm trying to think of a really good way to explain this. When
I
I
would like
shoot a
recoil.
weapon, yeah, recoil, that's a really good thing to have because you need to feel like you're actually shooting a gun, not like you're just
well,
shooting water at
I'm
people.
I'm pretty positive that Rico is in the game because I did some analysis on the E3 footage from I think it was Newseeker on YouTube, and you see some very few seconds of a screen with weapon stats there, and if you look at the text and you like fill in a few blanks, it does look like it has recoil listed there as one of the specific weapon statistics.
Mm,
So
I just need, well, I don't need, I would like, should I say, the aspect of realism in it. I mean, there are current games on the market that are going down the same kind of road, um, and you can have this big beefy gun and you can just shoot straight as an arrow.
yeah,
It may not have
yeah,
recoil. It may have bullet spread and accuracy, but I'm sorry, but the amount of times if you have a chain gun and you were to let rip, your arms would be broken.
I would definitely, but I think the most important part for me is that the weapons feel unique and they have a sense of realism to it, and you can actually feel the difference between shooting one rifle and the other.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There's a sort of balance and dynamic going on there.
Well, the good thing with what they're doing, they're making it so that you can modify the guns, and there's
Yeah,
going to be that visual distinction.
that actually took me completely off guard. I was not expecting that kind of customization to be in the game, but
It
that
looks good, didn't
looks
it?
really good.
Like
Yeah.
I knew there were modifications, but I was like, well, that's just going to be like attachment slots in other games. You're just going to put an item in there, and you're
A
going to get
different scope or something like
a
that.
little bit of a boost. And then the Dev Diary came out, and you actually saw those attachments come up, different scopes, different foregrips, and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that could be very interesting.
It's
Yeah.
going to take the whole min-maxing thing to a bit
Definitely,
extreme, though, isn't
definitely.
it?
Yeah, I mean, in any game where you give the player like a wide range of options, you will always have min maxes, but
Uh,
that's okay. I mean,
Stay tuned. We may be able to help with that. Anyway,
Oh dear, please do not put me in that situation.
well,
I
no,
am not a fan of min-maxing. I like being good at
yeah.
what my character does in the game, but honestly, I'm just there to have fun, not to
I don't like elitism. I remember back in the old WoW days going to raids and gear score and all that. I was like, no, go away. I just want to play.
Yeah, it's like I'll raid with you, but if you're gonna
uh,
complain to me about my stats, go away.
yeah, I have to admit I'm a bit of a min maxer, but it kind of depends on the game and how it goes. I mean, I like to know how stuff works in a game and the mechanics behind it, and that's partly because I'm a programmer myself, so I like to know how stuff works. But
Yeah, well,
yeah,
there's nothing. I don't have a I don't have a problem with people that min-max, but I'm just there to have fun, and if I can increase how good I am at the game, then awesome. But if it's gonna detract from my gameplay experience, then I'm not
yeah,
really
yeah,
interested.
definitely.
And I
It
mean, I
kind
also
of
like
takes
to know
the
how things
whole,
works because
yeah.
that's what I'm going to school for is programming. So I'm also interested in that area. But yeah, like I said, have fun.
It takes the whole casual, hardcore elitism to a different level at times, depending on what you can modify and such like that. I mean, I'm into my gaming. I game an awful lot, and I deprive sometimes of sleep to get a decent game in with people I know who can play that game. Um, but I'm sorry, I work 40 to 50 hours a week, can do at times, and I have my wife and my two children, and I am not gonna just go, right, we're gonna do this and this, and only this person, this person, this person, this person, this person can come. And by the way, it's gonna take us 4 hours to do it.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Yeah,
I mean, if if everyone can do their thing, I see no problem with that. But if uh, I I I definitely think that there should not be a clear split between casuals and hardcores
Oh yeah.
and like the middle ground. It's just bad for a game in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
And
Definitely. Definitely.
right. Going with the difference. You depending on how they take it, do you think there should be stuff like have been in previous games for like rested experience and stuff like that?
I I actually think that because it is a shooter, you're going to have a lot less problems with a split between very serious gamers and people who just play it a few hours a week, or people who play a lot but just don't take the game very seriously and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think overall a shooter is much easier to balance around your player base than, for example, a traditional MMO.
It's also going to think that it could be a really decent pick up and play game.
Yep.
Depending on how you do it, because you don't want it to be a pick up and play if well, it's like a pick up and put down and play, isn't it? Go on for 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, get something done, and then log off. Um, if it's going to be a subscription based service,
Which I honestly don't see that happening.
I don't myself. I'm
Um, I I'm wondering if there is if there's still a market for subscription-based MMOs. Personally, I prefer to just pay 15 euros a month and be done with it, rather than a microtransaction system or whatever.
You
But
see, the,
if
the
you
sorry, go on.
so if you look at the trends lately, everything is going either with a paid launch, a few months of paid subscription, and then free to play.
No, that's just a bombed game,
I
and we
think
all
Yeah,
know what game we're talking about.
well, yes, we all, but let's not get into that.
No, don't.
But I think the only successful subscription game that is currently still running is Rift.
You see, I have to disagree with that one as well. Eve Online, Eve Online is a
Yeah,
ooh,
but
subscription based.
that's a very good
That
point.
still holds. Plus, you can still play the game free to play. I played Eve
true.
for 6 years or something like that. I still log in now and again, and I only paid for about 2 years of it.
But Eve is like you cannot put it in any category MMO wise.
Eve is in
You
its
can
own
put it on one you
category.
can't put down.
Yeah, Eve.
If you want to play 4 years, um, I think the max amount of counts I had running at one time was 13.
Oh, Jesus.
Um, and each of them, I paid in-game money for time.
Mm, using
Um,
that, yeah, that's I really like the way
Yeah.
they have that set up.
that was good. That took a lot of the real money trading out of the games. But anyway, we're diverting off to other
Yeah,
games again.
let's stick with Defiance.
Um,
But I will say that I think like for me, the way I would prefer they do it is they have a free to play option, but they also and I mean microtransaction they can do that if they want to. I really don't have a problem with it as long as it's not pay to win.
yeah,
But the way I would prefer they do it is if they're going to have a micro God, I can't talk. A
micro
microtransaction
cans.
store is if they have a optional subscription that you can subscribe to where you get certain, not necessarily benefits, but for instance, I would be able to do it just as an option, and maybe I would get some credits toward the premium store, assuming they have one. I mean
Yeah,
the microtransaction store. But I would rather have an optional subscription because if I like the game, I'm gonna play it, and
yeah.
if I really like it, I'm gonna subscribe to it. But if I don't want to subscribe, I shouldn't have to have fun.
Well,
So I
that's the
think
thing with a
it's a
lot of
difference
games.
between yeah, exactly. And I think it's a difference between someone that's going to spend 30, 40 hours a week playing a game than someone that's just going to play an hour or two a day or even less than that. Someone that's only going to play an hour or two a day isn't necessarily going to be interested in subscribing because they don't play that much. But if I play, you know, 5 hours a day, I'm probably going to want to subscribe because I like the game that much.
Yeah, you usually find as well that, for example, I'm trying to think of a game that's free to play that has a surface like that. Um, Ghost
There are,
Recon Online, new one coming out. They have you can pay with in-game money or you can pay with purchased money. Now, yes, you, either way you go, you can unlock it. Tribes as well. Tribes is another good one.
That's a really
you
good
Uh,
one.
can. I think one of the major advantages of going free to play would be everyone who's watching the show, and I'm just going to assume that they're going to advertise the game during the TV show. I think that's just a no-brainer.
Oh yeah,
well,
probably.
It's
they're saying about the crossover as well, aren't they?
Yeah, we haven't even discussed the crossover yet. I think we should explain that as well, I guess, for the people who are not familiar with it. But I mean, it's if it is easy for people who watch the TV series to try the game, you suddenly attract a whole lot of different public to your game, which is always good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's the
actually
new gamer, isn't it?
yeah, that's a really good point because it's going to be attracting people that aren't necessarily hardcore gamers or even casual gamers. It's going to attract people that have never played a game before, but they say,
Yeah.
"Hey, I
Yeah,
really like this TV show. Let's try out the game."
It is going to be that one of even if it's just curiosity as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
I've been watching the show. I really, really like it. They say I can watch the show and play a game as well and maybe have some influence.
yeah.
Hmm.
So
Let's have a look.
that's actually, and you could yeah. So yeah, that should be interesting how they handle that.
Yeah. It's just one of those things of, let's go have a look and, oh, I've got to spend 30 bucks, 30 quid, 30
Oh,
euros,
yeah,
whatever to buy the game. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Or
So
they could
hopefully,
also just easily do a free trial too.
yeah.
But it just
Um,
depends. They haven't said anything about their business model yet, so we'll just have to wait and
yeah,
see.
it would be nice to know which way they're heading, but we probably won't see that for, oh, well,
A good 6 months.
Yeah,
yeah, a good 6 months. It's been recently than what games that have been released have told 2 months before launch, something like that.
close
Yeah.
to that, yeah. Unless it's like a pre-established thing, like for instance Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, right. But anyway, going to that crossover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've definitely got time to discuss the crossover.
Yeah, the crossover they have said, and this is a point of warning for all you elitist so and so's who like to use XXX 1734 whatever L33T in their names. The guys I absolutely hate and will burn with pokers if I see you. Um, anyway, um,
Oh, you okay there?
um,
You
I'm just gonna
you
back
just
off.
I went on a I just went on a mental rant, and I do apologize.
No, it's
Anyway, name your characters appropriately
Mhm.
because they have said that they plan on doing a crossover with the game and
contest. A
well, yeah,
type of
contest.
contest, yeah.
Yet entry specific or requirements are unknown, but to get your character on the TV show, which would you think would be played by yourself?
No, no,
No,
no, no,
no.
no, no.
They're just no.
I want to be on a TV show.
Well, I think
I
a
want to
lot
be
of
Grand
people
Brawler.
are seeing this like something that is going to happen weekly or something like that. I think
Yeah, this will be
if
my
they really manage to like get a character from the game that is somehow really popular or did something unique or spent a lot of time or made an influence in the game, and
Yeah,
they're bringing him to the
like
TV show,
us.
that is definitely something really unique and special. But that's also not something that they can reliably do on a monthly basis because a TV series just cannot handle that many
I
characters
tell
coming
you what,
in and out.
we
I would
recorded, aren't
imagine I would imagine that maybe once a season, if not less than that, they would do something along those lines because that's a major thing. And as far as the names go, the way I would prefer they did it is the way that Funcom did with the Secret World, and I mentioned this before on the forums.
Yeah,
But basically, the Secret World, you have three names. You have your character's first name, you have your character's last name, and then you have a nickname. And so I can have, and the for the first name and last name aren't necessarily unique, but that's not a big deal. The thing is, I can have Mtrek as my nickname, then have a realistic name for my first and last name. That way,
yeah.
I can still be satisfied with my handle, but also have an actual character that they could use in the show.
Yeah, as a role player, I have to say that first and last names are a topic that I really like, and I think a lot of games are lacking that these days.
Yeah, there
And
you always do get the like I was saying, the leet speak naming, don't you?
yeah, I think a lot of people are just really lazy when it comes to character creation.
You see, I always have a backstory for mine. It's really weird.
I I spent hours on character creation in the game itself. If I plan on role playing in the game, I actually work on my background and stuff like that. So yeah, but I mean, everyone does that different. But yeah, it would definitely be nice to not see the typical shooter names pop up in
I
Defiance.
pwn you, or
But I mean, that is going to happen. I mean, uh,
do you know the ones that I hate in shooters? It's like such and such was killed by Butthead, or just or was killed by myself, and it's like, why would you troll in such a way? Do you have nothing better to do?
Is this confirmation that you're not a fan of the 360 no scope?
Hey, I like 360 no scopes
360 no scope.
ish. I don't know. I haven't played on my 360 in a while. Someone out there was shouting at me. They shall not be named, but they were shouting at me for not being an Xbox player. It's like, let's play Left 4 Dead. What, on the Xbox? No, PC.
I,
It's
No.
like, why would you do that?
let's let's not piss off
No, let's
piss
not.
off
No, no, no,
all
no.
the target groups at once. Let's keep
I
something.
play
Yeah.
both PC and console games. Please don't kill me.
Right. No, no, no. Right. We'll leave that for another podcast.
Okay,
We're
perfect.
gonna have to. We're taking all the information and putting it all in one basket, and it's not going to work. The podcast will not last. Anyway,
Now, if you want to discuss that on my podcast, then I don't care what people yell at me for on mine. So that's something we could. No, no, shameless promotion.
podcast
No.
crossovers.
Shameless
Crossovers,
plug.
holy crap. Okay, but no. Um, but yeah,
um,
I
ah,
am looking forward
that's
to
one
see
thing
how
we
they
didn't
handle it.
say about the game, though.
Hmm?
Cross-platform play.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's not really going to be much of it from what I understood from
Yeah,
the Comic Con panel.
but
Um,
we've got Gamescom this week. Is it classed as this week now? It's a
yes,
Sunday.
yes, it's past midnight, so we can say it's this week now.
It's Monday. Well, for some of us.
Still Sunday, yeah. Thank you.
No, we'll talk about that after Gamescom, see what happens, and go from there. Um,
But to clarify, it's going to be playable on PlayStation 3, Xbox, and PC.
Hmm.
although release dates for the Xbox and the PlayStation 3 have not been released.
Now, one thing I am kind of concerned about, as far as releasing it on the 360 and the PS3, is that supposedly next year is when Sony and Microsoft are going to announce their next consoles. So how is that going to work for this game that's going to come out right before those consoles are announced? Assuming, and I mean, there's always a possibility that their next consoles will be backwards compatible, but
Yeah, but
past
you've also got to
experience,
think if they're going to be doing it free to play and downloadable, you will probably just be able to up. They will just redo the upload for it.
well, the thing is, what if it doesn't just straight up work though? What if they have to work on a lot of the game to get it to work with the new consoles? And I don't really see that as being a thing that'll happen, but there's always a possibility.
Right. The thing though is when somebody develops and releases a new console or whatever, you will have the development pack
Yeah,
before the game is actually released. So they may, if it does go through and they have their new consoles and stuff like that, they should have plenty of time to port it over.
and Tryon and Sci-Fi aren't necessarily short on cash, so I don't really see
Yeah.
that being the big issue. Yay,
Right.
PC! No.
um, right. This bit is for you now, Calver. Where are you going and what are you doing?
Well, I'm leaving from the Netherlands on Wednesday.
And where are you going?
I'm going to Germany, Gamescom.
You
For those not familiar with Gamescom, it's the most I think it's the biggest gaming fair in Europe at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah,
Eurogamers is small but good, but it's not as big as Gamescom. Germany seems to get all the things because you got Gamescom and you've also got DreamHack.
Yep.
DreamHack is Germany, isn't it?
Yes. No, 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 no. DreamHack is Sweden, right?
I thought it was. It might be. I don't know.
Quick on the spot research. But anyway,
I thought it was. I don't think it's Germany.
Yeah, it's Sweden, guys. Come on.
I don't know.
Whatever. Back to
Anyway,
back to
I would love
Gamescom.
to go.
Anyway,
But
anyway.
anyway,
So yeah, I will be mostly focusing, actually exclusively focusing on trying games. First and foremost on Defiance. I'll be there all the weeks, all the days. Sorry. Wednesdays for press. So sadly, you guys will have to wait until Thursday before I can get in.
we came a little bit too late to get him a press pass. We're
Yeah,
sorry.
shamefully. Um, So yeah, I will be camping the doors Thursday morning, rushing to the Defiance booth, and from there on, we'll start to cover everything we can find.
You
Um,
know,
uh,
we are going to be testing you on your dedication to the game. There was
oh,
a guy that turned up to last year's
I,
Euro game at 2 o'clock in the morning and slept at the front door.
well, I covered Rift 2 years ago, and I've pretty much spent my days at the Trine booth, like almost exclusively. I was like, well, I don't know what else is here, but I'm fine here. I'll just stay here, and I'm hoping to do the same.
Do we do we need to start a fund to buy you a tent and a sleeping bag so you can
Oh,
sleep at the
that
front door?
I'm just thinking maybe a caffeine drip or something like that. No,
but yeah, what I will be doing is I will be using Twitter or IRC chat during the days. I will during the evening upload all the pictures I take. Maybe some videos. Kind of depends how things go. I and every day I plan to write an article about my experience with Gamescom. So there's plenty of information hopefully coming out about both Defiance and maybe some other trying games.
Sweet. And we, even though we're not probably going to get it, we would like. Uh, we're hoping that we find out some more information about betas and stuff like that, and when they're looking at going it. But don't hold your breath, guys. Not quite yet, I don't think.
A quick
No,
comment about the beta and the alpha before we're kind of getting close to our time limit is I want to talk about how they're going to handle the beta because it seems like this I guess it's not really a big problem because they're gonna have content that isn't directly related to the show. But don't you think that letting people into a beta, say 2 or 3 months before the show starts, would be kind of a spoiler town?
yeah.
Well, yes and no. Right. The game is set in Defiance, isn't it?
In
Which is St. Louis.
no, the game is set in the game's not set in Defiance. The game's set in St. Louis. The Defiance is in San Francisco.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. Right, yeah, so completely different cities with the completely different storylines. They've
Yeah, I
said
guess. I guess that's a good point.
they said there's going to be the stuff like maybe a global disaster or some global effect that happens. I think an example they used was a gas cloud or something like
No, I
that.
think it was a plague or something like that, if I
Plague,
remember
gas
correctly.
Some
cloud,
kind of plague or
thunderstorm,
something.
Yeah.
whatever.
And they
Uh,
also mentioned that toward the end of like when the season ends, they'll bring characters from the show into the games area
yeah, it
before
was
the next
what
season starts.
Kevin was it Kevin Murphy's interview? They said, think of the game like season 1.5.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I think it is.
That's a really good
So
metaphor, actually.
it's the bridge from season 1 to season 2 of the TV show, but as well as doing the activities in it.
Yeah, as well as being an actual game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I guess it won't be that bad. It's something that I thought of because I think at the Comic-Con panel they said that you would see Grant Bowler's character Nolan at the beginning, right at the beginning of the game.
Well,
He's about to head
I
off to San Francisco or something.
Yeah.
I definitely think it has an impact on the time frame in which we're going to see like loads of beta invites going out,
Hmm.
and I think it will also affect if people actually want to play beta, because if
Well,
you're
definitely.
mainly in it for the TV show, you might not actually enjoy seeing loads of information in the game already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know that they're gonna have the player base for it.
Well,
Um,
definitely.
because they will when they go open, it'll be marked on in your Treon account for um in the nations for Rift that you will get access. And if anything like the Eon beta was. Oh wait, there no, that wasn't involved in Eon beta. That was a security question update. Yeah, I hadn't logged into my Treon accounts for a while, and it asked me to update all my security stuff, and it gave me 3 days playtime in Rift. Now I thought that came off the Eon beta key, but I don't think that was the case.
Well, knowing Toronto, if you see what they did with End of Nations and Rift, if you if you're someone that enjoys playing beta or actually wants to get the chance to help out with development, Tryon is most of the time pretty willing to hand out lots of beta codes and stuff like that.
Yeah, they
So
have
that's
like they send like 100 use ones out, don't they, and stuff like that. I
yeah.
know that's how I got mine anyway. Thank you, Tenny Bra.
Yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, they're pretty open with betas. This one might be a little bit more closed though because of the
Yeah.
interaction
All
between it
the
and the show.
well, that in the show, and then all the other things that are in beta at the moment.
This is true.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll hear something about. Probably I wouldn't. I don't think we would hear much about that from Gamescom aside from maybe like a window of like 2 or 3 months. Um, but or not like 2 or 3 months from now, but like between December and February expected beta, something along the lines of that.
Yeah. Well, you think as well, what we've got coming, it's the end, it's coming up to the end quarter of the year, isn't it?
Hmm.
And that is the games convention and the Comic Cons, like the time. It starts with San Diego and it goes through. You've got what? You've got Gamescom now. You've got PAX East. You got Eurogamers. You got the MCMs over here in the UK. What else have you got? You got DreamHack as well.
PAX.
There is,
I don't know if you mentioned PAX.
yeah, PAX East. It is PAX East, isn't it?
It's PAX Prime. PAX
PAX
East is
Prime.
in May.
May. Oh, got mixed around. Sorry, PAX Prime. You have a lot that comes up. So there is still a lot of time to find information, and we are going to be one of the best ways to get that information. Ding.
Follow us at Twitter. No,
Yeah,
shameless
no,
promotion.
that's later.
Well,
uh,
we're kind of getting close to our supposed time limit, so we might need to wrap this up soon, guys.
yeah, we will. So basically, what we are hoping is for a lot more information to come over especially over the next few months, anyway. But hopefully, over the next weekend, get a lot of information sorted and sent to you. Um, do keep an eye on the Twitter feeds. There we go, Matt. Follow us on Twitter at
Defiance
Defiance
Central. Yeah.
for all your Defiance needs. No,
The number
but
one Defiance website. No.
right, we're not doing a radio show.
Oh, sorry.
It would be cool to have a radio station though if it was a sandbox. Keep that on the
Ooh.
side
Ooh.
notes.
Hey,
But
there's a little
very,
tip. Hey,
hey,
devs, you know what would be awesome?
hey
In-game
devs,
radio station.
in-game radio station which is funded by outside people to
Mm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
Hint, hint. Anyway, um, yeah, we will wrap this up, I think. First of all, over the past what's name? Over the past few months, what is your favorite part of Defiance out of the trailer, out of all the interviews from San Diego Comic Con? If you want, you have two things, starting with you, Kalbuir.
I would say ask me next week after Gamescom.
No, in the past, I don't care. We'll
We have
do
to do
this
this
next.
now.
okay, if there's one thing every Defiance fan needs to watch is uh, watch the E3 gameplay footage. They
Yes.
run through an entire instance. They cover solo missions and they cover some open world content. Watch that, and you will be excited for Defiance.
And number two,
Number two is um,
you can have one serious and one funny if you really want.
well, I would have to say the TV series trailer that was released. Well, not officially released, but is floating on YouTube right now.
And you, Matt?
Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. The thing that I enjoyed the most was the introduction to the E3 trailer that they put out with the remix of I can't remember the name of the song. I really like the E3 trailer. We'll put it that way.
Yeah,
And the other one would probably be, and as much as I love the TV spot that we saw, I think I'm gonna have to go with the developer diary that was just put out
yeah, that
because
was.
it gave a lot of information about the game. But yeah, I would definitely recommend watching the E3 videos as well.
I have to say thank you for using that developer diary one. I don't need to say that now. For myself, the community as the whole is one of my favorite things, as mainly because we want to try and do it. It's a small community at the moment, but we are increasing it. And for my second one, um, the with everything else that's been said, the San Diego Comic Con panel. It's a good panel.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah.
It's a good hour. So if you want to watch it in the morning or something like that while you're having your coffee or your breakfast or just chilling, watch it. And also, I'm sorry, it is in the San Diego Comic Con panel. The SmackDown the dude got when Grant Bowler reeled off everything about EVE Online with AS
Yeah,
Bob. I'm sorry, that was fantastic.
that was indeed
I
fantastic. My
was. and I don't really want to get into this, but when Grant Bowler started talking about video games in the detail that he did, I was kind of
Yeah.
surprised to hear that
Yeah.
from an actor. And like,
Hey,
Well, yeah.
it
Grant,
sounds
Grant
bad when
may
I
have
say
enjoyed
that, but I
video
was
games.
actually surprised.
Well, everybody. This is not getting into it, of course. Quite a few people really do like video games that are actors. There are a lot of people that play.
It's good to know that the actors for the show are very knowledgeable as far as the video games go, because of course this is heavily connected between the video game and the show. So
It's also
it's good to know
best.
that they know what's going on. Put it that way. It was a relief. I'm sorry. Please don't kill me.
Right, okay, we are going to wrap this up now. It has been fun. Thank you, Calber, and thank you, Matt, for joining me on the Defiance Central endeavor and the first podcast. Um, for you guys listening, if you want to find out more about the game, um, then jump on to the website. We are going to start um, filling out the website with informations with information about the game, races. You can even check out the first affiliate site that Defiance Central has got. I'm sorry, it's 1 a.m. in the morning here, and 2 for Calber, so we're quite dedicated into this. Um, is Defiance Wiki. Take a look at that. There is a lot of information there, as well as following us on Twitter. We are Defiance Central. You may want to follow Defiance World and Defiance Game, um, as well as who else are we saying? Tenibar and Grant Bowler. All of these, of course, are going to be in the description of the podcast on the website, as well as on the side in the widget link. Um, what am I missing? Anybody?
Please come join us on RC.
That's a point. Am I
Oh
even
yeah.
connected? Yeah, it's only yours. And say, Calber, you're not even in it.
I know, but
Yeah, Calber, what's up with that, man?
yeah, I'm slacking. I know.
Yeah.
I'll be there. I'll log in now.
Okay,
uh,
see, that makes up for it.
I'm technically always there, even though I'm at work 12 hours a day, sort of thing. Um, but we're all there. People are there, and just come join us in chat. You can get to it from the website. It's got its own web client on there. Or if you're using the IRC, it's the QuakeNet server, and the channel is. Sorry, I've got a bit of dry mouth here.
Pound
It's
Defiance game?
Defiance Game.
Or not pound, but yeah. Where's that pound? Whatever. I'm not gonna make myself look like more. But anyway, Defiance game.
Yes, Defiance
If you know
Game.
anything about IRC, you know how to join channels.
Yeah, slash join hyphen game.
Also, I
Uh,
want to point out that if I'm not mistaken, we're gonna get this on iTunes, right?
yes.
Okay, I'll
I,
work on that afterwards then. But yeah,
yeah, you're dealing with that. You are podcast guy,
yay.
as
So
well as
yeah,
article.
this will be on both our website, defiance-central.com, as well as iTunes. In case you want to listen to it on the road, that'll be just look for Defiance Central Podcast. You should see it. I'm not sure when it'll be up. Usually they go through a verification process, but it'll be up soon.
And finally, we want to make the community well, I say a close knit, a well structured community. So what we're going to do, like I said before, is we're going to help by advertising guilds, websites, other podcasts. We are going to be a hub for the community. So if you want to get the site or website or whatever advertise with us, it is an affiliate program. So I was going to say we do you, you do us, but you advertise, you advertise us, we
We're
advertise.
not that kind of website, man.
Yeah, we're not premium. No. Um, we advertise you, and you have a link to us on your website. You can get any information from that on the website, or you can email us at community at defiance-central.com, and send us whatever and wherever, as long as it's good, legal, and clean.
And send all your hate mail to Jenbuu personally, please.
Yes, thank
Yes.
you. Send it to the Brit, as they say, because we enjoy letters. Anyway, thank you very much. It has been a pleasure from me. I'm Jenbuu, and thank you to Kalbuir,
Thank you for having me, man.
and thanks to you, Matt, as well. And
Yep.
as for our next show, um, I don't know. I don't think we'll do a weekly one just as of yet, due to lack of information.
Yeah. I think what we're probably gonna do is do a monthly show until the information flow starts speeding up, and then we'll switch to a weekly show.
Uh, Although you probably will be getting one next week.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
of Gamescom. There's
Because
let's just put it this way, there's no schedule yet.
yeah,
Follow us on
there's
Twitter.
no pure schedule. Yes, follow us on Twitter, and we'll
Can I
sort out
promote
an
that anymore?
RSS feed as well. Yes, Matt. Well, we will get you a T-shirt done, and it will just have the quotations "Follow us on Twitter" on the back. But we'll
Oh,
see
we're
where
getting
we go.
t-shirts? Oh man, I want a t-shirt.
Caliber's already got one.
Bros,
Yeah,
where's my t-shirt?
I do have a T-shirt, but that's the lettering backwards because I'm a moron.
Oh wow.
So I'm going to
Hey,
fix
first
that
bleep.
tomorrow.
Is it the first bleep of the podcast?
We're clearly a very organized group of people. We have lettering on our t-shirts.
Anyway, that's it for us. We'll see you next week. Keep an eye on the website, and we will go from there. Take care.